Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Absolutely. Mary Ann Goodman.
Hi, here, sorry.
I'll count either.
Here.
Kyle Orr,
Here.
Mary Pitcher,
Here.
Joel Quine,
Present.
Penny Georgevich here.
Okay, everybody's got the agenda. Any additions, corrections? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
I'll second.
By Orr,
Sorry.
by Goodman, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have two sets of minutes. First up is the board meeting itself, the March 5th. Any comments, corrections?
Make a motion, we accept the minute as. Second.
By Klein, supported by Orr. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Minutes are approved. Next would be the budget adoption meeting, also happened on March 5th at 6:30. Entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion, we approve the budget adoption minutes.
Seconded.
By Goodman, supported by Klein. Any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah, on to financial reports and Mary Ann Goodman.
I'm trying to remember that. Okay, nope, we're good. Okay, just a quick, these are the financial reports for, as of March 31st, which is the end of our fiscal year. So this is probably the most flush the township would be. We've gotten our winter tax money, except for a little bit that we got the other day from the county, and we haven't begun to spend through the year yet. It's the same, the end of the month and the end of the year, it's all the same report, but just so everybody knows. Okay, so this is the Lake Township's general fund for the period ending March 31st, 2026. General fund checking account is at $120,303.04. The money market account is at $144,284.61. The Honor Bank CD number 29 has $34,089.26. West Shore CD number 51 is at $105,296.19. State Savings CD number 44 is at $54,665.04. West Shore CD number 11 is $109,629.83. Our petty cash is at $100. The general fund's Michigan class account has $300,912.30. Our ICS account with Honor Bank is at $100,383.69. Lake Township money market account has $33,026.02. And $100 of the general fund is in the tax account to keep it open year round, for a grand total in Lake Township's general fund of $1,002,790.38. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve that financial report for the month / year.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion by Goodman, supported by Klein. Any questions, discussions? Be a roll call.
Kyle Orr.
Aye.
Joel Quine,
Aye.
Penny Georgevich. Aye. Mary Ann Goodman,
Aye.
Mary Pitcher.
Aye.
Same scenario for the fire fund, end of the month, end of the year. Much simpler though. Lake Township's fire fund for the period ending March 31st, 2026. Fire fund CD number 37 is at $62,225.22. The fire fund money market is at $101,292.49. Lake Townships, or the fire fund's Michigan class account has $128,961.21. for a total in Lake Township's fire fund of $292,478.92. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve that financial report for the month.
I'll support.
So, motion by Goodman, supported by Sturbridge. Any discussion, questions? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Joel Klein,
Aye.
Marion Goodman,
Aye.
Kyle Orr.
Aye.
Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Penny Georgevich, aye. And for the clerk's report, I would like to make a motion to approve from the general fund $39,844.24 for the payment of township accounts.
I'll second that.
By Georgevich, supported by Goodman. Everybody had a chance to look at the bills. Any discussion? That'll be roll call.
Marion Goodman,
Aye.
Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Kyle Orr.
Aye.
Penny Georgevich, aye. Joel Klein.
Aye.
All right, and I'll make a motion to approve $4,161.59 from the fire fund to pay the fire fund bills.
Motion by Georgevich, supported by Orr. Discussion? Roll call.
Penny Georgevich, aye. Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Joel Klein,
Aye.
Marion Goodman.
Aye.
Kyle Orr. That's it for me.
Great. This time, we're gonna open public input. Thanks everyone for being here. We appreciate it. There will be 2 public inputs on the agenda. The first one is to address items that are on our agenda tonight, and then there will be another one later. So anyone wish to speak? Mr. Simons,
Would you like me at the podium?
wherever you're most comfortable, please state your name for Penny.
Sure. I'm Simon. I live on Ash Avenue and Lake Township. Thank you for the opportunity to take just a quick minute of your time this evening. I'm here to speak just a quick second about one of the proposals that's up for a vote today in terms of the zoning ordinance for the definitions in the Article 3 on the setbacks for dockage and docks. First of all, I want to thank the Planning Commission for all the work that they've done to try and work through all the issues that come up that need to be corrected. I know that's kind of a thankless job, but thank you to everyone that's putting in the time and efforts for that. I specifically would encourage, I'm hopeful that we'll pass these ordinances tonight. I submitted a letter to the Planning Commission back in January, and I'm not sure if it got to everyone, so I just wanted to take a second to speak to that. I know everybody has opinions where you live about what you do with docks and dockages, but I live on Little Flat Lake, and Little Flat Lake is notorious for having angled lot lines. And in my particular case, where I live, where I have my a patio down by the lake, and my neighbor has their dock exactly 10 feet from the lot line, which is within the ordinance as it exists today. But when he puts that dock out, he has his boat and his boat hoist and that on on my side of his dock. And when I sit on my patio, from here to about that wall, I sit and look right at his boat. So I'm really asking that I'm allowed to have some privacy and have a view of the lake where I sit and where I'm at on my property. And I think it's important to include not just the 10 feet, but to include not just the dock, but also any boat hoist or boat or anything else, so that everybody has an opportunity to enjoy the beauty of our township that we all want to have. And I know that everybody's got their own thing, but this one's really critically important to me because they also use their boat sometimes at night. When they come in, it shines right up my patio, into my bedroom window, into my bathroom window. And it's just, I'm paying a lot of money to have a place here, just like we all do on a lake. But I'm asking that you support the proposal that put forward by the Planning Commission this evening. Thank you.
Very much. Other public input on agenda items? Hearing none, we will close public input. No guests tonight, so we will move into committee reports. Anything from the top committee?
Down there last week, there was still quite a bit of snow in the turnaround. I think the benches and the tables that Mark stained last summer held up really nicely. There's clearly some more that need to get done, but they look really good. The little bit of sand in the landing turnaround, we can get that handled here when it warms up a little bit, and yeah, I think it held up really well. I'm so happy with that turnaround that turned out last summer.
Okay, well, herb season will.
Yeah,
upon us.
so honest.
Next is planning commission. We do have the docket ordinance later on the agenda. Is there anything else from the planning commission that should be discussed?
We do have another meeting coming up in April. I know it's. The next planning commission meeting. April 15th, yeah.
April 16th.
Actually, yeah. Your next one. Is that, McKenna won't be at this one. This is the May meeting, is that?
They asked to be at the April one. I don't know if we need them there yet. Okay, so I think we wait till May to get McKenna back there. Okay.
Rich?
Thanks, we can talk about that separately.
Website committee, I passed out, so you look at later or now if you want, but the outline of kind of where we are at as far as getting all the content compiled for the new website. You'll see there's names next to various things of who's working on it. Check marks are things that we have finished. And we don't have to have everything complete before we go live with the new site. So, I mean, we've made a lot of progress and I guess just take this and if you have any questions or anything you want to add for the website.
We update all the emails. Is that? Is
I
that all
know.
done now?
everything
Coming very
changed.
soon.
Okay.
I
Pardon?
said that in December.
Well, I also thought the website was sooner too. It's just
So we're waiting to.
the new
coordinate-
email addresses, I think are going to go, I think we should do it at the same time we do the new site, because that way then that'll be a .gov. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it looks like it's both. There's
And seriously, if there's anything that, like anybody wants to add, let us know sooner than later. Okay. On to staff reports, nothing from the assessor, so let's go to code enforcement officer. We've got a written report from Mark Janesco. Mark, do you want to highlight anything?
The applications are coming in. I expect to probably get a few complaints now that the snow's gone for some light, so that's all I can foresee. That everything else is going really smooth as far as the short-term rental application process. They're coming in and making appointments and there's no complaints. And
Did you say, do you know how many we're at right now?
we're at about 80.
Any questions for Mark? Right. You got my written report, about the roof. And, I'm gonna be out of the office next week. I will be working from home every day, but Mondays, feel free to give out my cell phone number if somebody's looking for me. Okay.
I just have one thing to add to that. The roof is not 25 years old.
Oh, it's a roof.
Well, it was done when I was working here and I've only worked here 20 years. So my guess is more like 15.
Well, we.
I was gonna say,
There could be some paper. I
Well,
mean,
I looked up paperwork, but
okay.
the one that I was able to find, and I couldn't tell which section of roof because I know that we had an addition and I don't know when that was done.
It
And
was like extended and made bigger, better, and it definitely was less than 25 years.
That's good. to
If
know.
if it matters, I saw that and I know that wasn't.
No.
It should be inspected regardless, 15 years, 20 years, it still should be inspected.
I know that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Charlie Brooks, actually, he's come to my house too, but Kyle also recommended him. He's signed up to do an assessment of the roof. It's $150 if he does a written assessment. It doesn't cost anything if it's a verbal report.
Well, I mean, just because of the hole, have him check it, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Spend $150 for a written assessment.
Will he apply that 150 if we decide to have it replaced?
Yes,
Okay, good.
sorry, you asked that question after that too.
I think writing is good, I'd pay 150 to have it. I mean, for the town,
I would
we
agree.
don't wanna, he said,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. John is retiring. I just give a little kudos to John. He has been quite the diplomat in the area for a very long time. Sorry to see him.
Don
I'm
Brzezowski.
happy for him, but
Don Brzezowski, who's done our seasonal road patrol, is retiring from that. He's applied to work at the park, so we're pretty excited about that. And
Yeah, probably good.
the sheriff seems to be having trouble finding somebody who wants to be our
really,
person, but I mean, it's still
Yeah.
early April, so he said not to worry.
Alright.
Okay, we have a written report from Josh Mills. Josh was going to be in attendance and he texted at like 6 o'clock, said he thinks he's getting the flu. And I said,
Mhm.
please stay away.
We didn't want to share it with anyone.
maybe from mid-March, huh?
You don't know how to get a
Yeah,
hold of him. And he'll have to tell us not to emergency, but probably Friday. Yes. Okay, on to the fire report, Chief Cedarholm, we have a written report, would you like to highlight anything?
The fire advisory committee is gonna meet on Thursday, May 28th at 2 p.m. Put that in your calendars. As we get to the wildland season, we're switching trucks out to the wildland, but remember, it's awareness time for that, most important when you want to do your yard cleaning. 70 degrees, low relative humidity of 10 to 15%, winds 15 to 20 miles an hour is right in that spot. You can get ugly real quick, it's right there. You know, so keep that in mind. Check with your local DNR ordinances to make sure that, you know, burns not, you know, your local, if your local ordinances on burning, open burning, and check the DNR website. Because if it gets away from you, you are liable. So, just to kind of pass those tickets along. The storm that we had, we did do a preparedness thing on, we met on Saturday, the 14th, to kind of gather the plan together to figure out how we were gonna handle this. But really didn't take off until Monday night into Tuesday. And we'd already, you know, it started picking up and ramping up on Sunday, so we came in at 8 p.m. Spent the night at the station, my wife and I, and we wound up staying there till 8 p.m. on Monday night. And then the nighttime crew came in, and they were really all over the place. And we came in and did follow-ups. And that was probably, you know, they gave us a handoff of who to check on, including we had residents on Mission Blue Shores. Mission Blue Shores is gonna be out of power. So they were looking for people to check in and walk back in their direction. The common theme that I found is that the majority of these folks also got Meals on Wheels. So I asked them, do you have enough food? Do you have, you know, what you need? And it's kind of a, you know, when we did the debrief on the 31st with Rebecca, the emergency manager, it's kind of like, if we could tie in something where we could tie in lists to do pre-checks before then, but for the most part, it worked out, you know, we worked out well. And I think that the key point here is there was neighbors helping neighbors. And we got phone calls and they said, you know, could you check on? And we did. And then, and it was amazing. We had on Nelson Road, it was straight up, we had a patient that fell down the stairs and broke her hip. And we had to, between the DPW and the road commission, they literally cleared that road and their driveway and everything. It came in a bucket and cleared everything out of the way. And so that the ambulance could back right on up. But we were holding patient care to walk through the snow to get up there for patient care. And they did all that work while the ambulance was waiting down below to get up there, because it would never happen. So I guess if there was one key takeaway from the storm is that when we prioritize others and work together, we can overcome most challenging events and situations, and we did. We did as a group.
Any questions for the chief?
I had a question. I've heard over that at least 3 different people where their generators did not function because of the snow.
Yeah, we brought gas to some, we got a couple of them started.
Yeah, and I'm just, is there, my concern, and I heard 1 or 2 of them said, oh yeah, I should build something around it, you know, to prevent that from happening again. And I'm like, that kind of raised a red flag with me, and I'm wondering.
You're spot on. Mine did the same thing too. When I got, finally got home, my generator was running, it was spitting and sputtering. What happens is the snow blows inside of it. It fills up the air cleaner, and that's it. It pretty well chokes it down.
Right.
So to build a box around it, it's not gonna get the air it needs.
Yeah.
So there's got to be, you know, I've been engineering in my head, how I'm gonna try to do this, maybe build like a box further away so it gets air, but the snow doesn't circulate around it. I'm still working on it.
I'm just wondering if you come up with something, because I've heard a couple people say, oh, I've got to figure out how to do this, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like a fire hazard.
Now, it's wouldn't be so much of a fire hazard
But,
as getting the air to it, you
yeah.
know, getting the air so you get complete combustion. And that was one thing too that brings, I was at a call today. This patient had a gas fireplace. First time I walked in, like, oh, I smell gas. And I looked down at the flames she had burning, and I'm like, I said, that flames they're yellow. It should be blue. So I contacted, when she went to the hospital, I contacted her daughter and said, get somebody to take a look at that, because that's improper combustion. So get that taken a look at. So that's a heads up for you if you've got one of those gases. It should be blue flame. Should be blue flame.
Thank you. You know, the other thing, we get complaints about noise, generator noise. I wonder if there is a way to enclose them and they still get air that could help with noise reduction too, maybe.
That's tough, because it would violate probably the codes for installation of it, which may negate the warranty on it.
Aren't there many kinds of generators? Are we all speaking of the same generator?
They all do that.
There's professional Generac, and then there's hardware store.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the built-in professional Generac, if you will, to
They'll plug up with snow.
yeah.
Or they all did it. Every one of them.
That wind was blowing.
Yes, where could Diane get additional information on generators? What would be a good source?
I have a generator and I had no problems.
Okay. Very good. Then we're gonna move.
Sometimes the giant snow gets in there.
Yeah, it happened to you.
Just put a wall up. Yeah. First time my brand new generator used, it quit working. Ours blew up the first time. I freaked out. They said, no, he said the air got in there and then it froze, actually. I had to pull the filter out and shake the ice off it. It's worked fine ever since.
Okay. Got enough on generators?
We won't need them for a while.
Oh,
Moving on, please, moving on to commissioner reports. We have a written report from Art Janot. And it was the tag team here. It's Commissioner Triggs' night to be with us. So Christie, you.
Yeah, so
Okay, of course.
I do apologize. I did not use my time wisely to get my report written in time. But I do have some things to discuss. So, beginning of the month, you know, we had all kinds of weather and I was ill, so I didn't go to many things. One of the things though that I wanted to talk about is materials management. The materials management in March was canceled. and it was canceled for weather, but it was going to be a big meeting. And so this materials management is the Tri-County Materials Management. So that is Grand Traverse County, Benzie County, and Leelanau County, right? We're trying to regionalize and make our waste management better because we get more money from the Eagle Grant for coming together. Well, so our first task, right, is to get a plan together as to how we're going to deal with some of the goals that the state has about recycling. And at our previous meeting, we had voted that we were going to go with the state's goals that are very aggressive, 20%, and that would include food scraps. Now, currently, we have great plans right here in Benzie County for recycling. We have our bins that collect quite a few things, but of course, the key item we're missing is food scraps. And food scraps are the things that are in our landfill that are very heavy. And when you take things to the landfill, everything is measured by weight. And so the lovely things that we recycle are nice and light and buoyant and doesn't account, right, for a lot of weight. But what food scraps, if you think about it, are very wet, right? The things that we eat are full of water. And so that makes them very heavy. So 20% diversion is quite a bit. And so we have been tasked with talking to folks about how are we going to execute on our goal, right? And the biggest thing here is infrastructure. Right now, we have zero infrastructure, right, for food scraps, right? So we talked about a little bit, we could get a bin and stick it next to our recycling bins, right? We could stick that in and it's supposed to be sealed and whatnot and pest free. So one thing that was very important to one of our board members is that it's easy, right? That you put your food scrap collection with your other recycling because you're going to go to the same place. So we talked about that. But then once you get it into that bin, where does it go? Who's got the trucks to haul it? It's going to be a different beast than your trash recycle or in your recycle bin, right? So you need haulers. You need a place to take it. We don't have a place to take it. And then if we had a place to take it and they would make it into something, we need a market for what we're going to make, like compost, right? So right now, Benzie County, Grand Trunk might have a little bit. We have zero infrastructure. So this is going to take a lot. Now I think I've talked to you about this before too, about Benzie County. So right now, we fund our current recycle bins and the hazardous waste collection and some of the other things that we do by a $25 per household surcharge. It's not a tax, it's a surcharge. And we collect approximately $318,000. And our expenditures are projected to be about $67,000 over that $318,000. So what that means is we are eroding into our fund balance, and our fund balance is at $123,977. Well, if we're digging into that at $67,000 at a time, we've got about 3 years left. So we've got to come up with just Benzie County. Either we have to do something to get more money to support the services we need, or our services go down. So got to think about that. And then we have to think about in this tri-county thing, and we have our very aggressive goals, but we need to think about how do we fund for infrastructure for this big project. And so we're not entirely banking on Eagle being able to do this for us with their funding, right? Because this would be a big thing, and so there were some ideas they wanted us to talk about. We could do something like pay as you throw. And this is what we normally do for our regular garbage. We could, entertain a millage. We could do service fees, and this is kind of what, Grand Traverse does right now. They do service fees, so what's called a tipping fee. So for, I think every ton or something like that, gets put into their, transfer station, they get $1. And so that's how they fund. They don't have PA 69 like our county does. They use these service fees. Something, they wanted to look, we could do special assessments. We could do hauler fees. And we could have something like what the economic development does, a revolving fund, a revolving loan fund, so that there is a lump of money, right? And so, so somebody can come in and request that, right? And they get a loan from that lump sum of money, and then as that entity pays that back, it goes back into the lump, and then that lump can then be used for something else until that gets paid back. And so you're constantly loaning and getting back and loaning and getting back. So it's money that keeps coming around and being used. So anyway, these were some of the things they wanted us to talk about because this is a big thing. The committee is quite can't think of the word, committed, right? Committed. We've got this plan. We want to execute on this plan. We want to see this happen. And so just kind of talking through some of the funding mechanisms that might be discussed and talked about. And again, if you can come up with anything outside these.
But Eagle wants you to do this.
Yes,
but
they
there-
do.
But there's no funding, there's no.
So here's the thing, is that first when it was rolled out, Eagle said, yes, we're going to, in fact, they said, we're gonna give you the money up front. Like, oh, yeah. Well, then it turned into, no, you.
And you come up with a plan as well.
Yeah, you do this, and then we're going to, as you make progress, you are going to submit to get this money back. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And they've told us that this year's money is guaranteed, but I don't know that we've heard anything about subsequent years. Is all I'm going to say.
And when you say food, strictly organic food scrap. So
Yes.
people are cleaning their plates.
Yes,
Compostable material.
Yeah, I mean,
compostable material. Most of that goes into the trash.
not the dirty pizza box, just the leftover food scraps.
Leftover food scraps.
The interesting thing about food scraps is that in the landfill, methane can be captured from most things, but food scraps deteriorate so quickly that the methane from decomposing food scraps is not captured.
It overwhelms their system and it goes right through their filters because it overwhelms the filter system because it's so rapid. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, the only, just brainstorm. The
Yes,
only
please.
company that I would think that could scale it would be like this big dairy do company that's somewhere in the middle of the state, right? I mean, isn't that what they do? Beyond that, I don't,
Yeah, so.
industrial composting?
Yes, so what, Fishback, who is our third party, who is helping us collect data and kind of writing the plan. They have, contacts downstate and there are compost companies, I guess, or at least people who deal in food scraps who are willing to enter our market up here in rural Michigan, but of course that is going to be there will be a cost to that because they will still have to either ship it back down there or we'll have to have something up here, something. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And also, our next meeting is Friday. See, Wednesday is the 8th, so the 10th, Friday the 10th, I believe, is that right? Yes. And so, and I believe that was in Leelanau County. And we also have a local materials management committee. And that meets here at the government center in Beulah, and that's April the 8th at 4. So anyway, those were that was the big thing I wanted to talk to you all about, is that. Business as usual at the county, you know, we've been putting in for grants. We fund a 2% grant for the string violinists. They're gonna do a camp during the summer. And the county underwrote that grant request to the federal. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. We had those are the big things. Oh, we had one of our opioid, so you know, we do opioid settlement funds, right? And so one of the people that came to us was from the probation department, and he was looking to get bus passes for his parolees and probationers. Probationers is the correct term, my mistake. So anyway, we granted them funds, and I think they have 1,333 passes for the year. And as of March 15th, they gave out 1,313. So they are right where they need to be. And it sounds like things are going well for them. And so what we did is we broke it up for them. I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 years. So this is the first year, and they will continue to come back to us and tell us how successful that program has been. We also did something, and they also, the recovery court was asking for money, and we also gave them money from the opioid settlement fund, so instead of, so what happens is, people can go to the, what did I call it? The recovery court instead of going to jail. And so these are people who can, get the help that they need and get on a track instead of going right to jail. So
Except for Judge Mead.
yes, I believe so. Yes, it has to be because that's probate. Yes.
Anything else? Any other core members have questions for Christie?
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here. Okay, moving on to new business. We have the road grinding proposal from the road commission. I have a question about trails and roads.
Well, and I have the start of an answer. Joe Nadeau had just given me a call just prior to the meeting because I noticed that and I checked past bills and we've never had that. And he says that confuses me that that's there. Yeah, and that was the other thing, is like, it's not in our township. He said, give him a little bit of time, but he didn't want that to hold that up. Trails End has not been part of our thing, so he believes that this does not belong to us, but he's not sure why it's there, so.
If you trail left and go down to Bass Lake, that's Lake Township.
That's like what down in
Is
there.
that Trails End going that way too? It might be
So
that.
part of it is.
That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
people down on Bass Lake are in Lake Township.
Oh, okay, so between
Yeah,
Bath and
I-
Otter.
You-
Oh, yeah.
No, because that weird
Down you
curve.
turn.
Wow.
it kinda
If you
juts
take the
in
hard left and go down to
township.
Bass and Otter, that's. the
Yeah,
township.
it's right in between the two lakes.
Us to grind that, or is that the National Park System?
We've never. It's never been on our.
It's never been, yeah, I checked the past 3 years. And he said, he notices that he looked too, so. Yeah, so, but we will get more
Yeah.
information, we can, yeah,
What if
we can make the,
what if we approve, pending additional information for the trails and.
And it's 1/10 of a mile, I think either way, it's probably not that, but,
And then my understanding is, I think, for recollection, last year we just waited to decide on the second Brian, depending on the weather and things.
Yeah, because last year we did not need a second one.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we accept, estimate. With the waiting to hear back on trails on for round one.
Yeah.
I'll support.
Or supported by Georgievich. Marianne, what are you thinking there?
I'm just looking at numbers here. So they're saying that Trails End would cost $222, and that's totally on us because they don't think it's a county road? I mean, why 100% to us on just that?
The 100%
portion?
part, that part I don't know.
Yeah,
I just wanted to find out what
Okay.
Trails End belongs with
so
us.
if we take that up, it's 26. Last year we paid 2,500. So.
Yes, it was
up
a,
$121.
it was a
Doesn't-
$66 per mile increase from last year.
Oh, this was 121.6 higher. Okay, either way, no, I'm good with it. I just was kind of looking at what the numbers were from last year.
Any other discussion? Let's do roll call.
Can I ask a question? So if it does come back that trail, because I want to understand and make sure that with the motion, if it does come back that Trails End is part of this package.
The whole thing, is that what you're saying? And then.
Well, I'm asking because you made the motion, would we?
I want to know why it's 100% on us. We've never done it before. Oh, by the way, we can do it, but it's gonna be totally on you. It's still a county road. Maybe we better wait. I rescind my motion. Let's wait till next month. Let's get some answers from the road commission. Can we do that? Can we ask them?
We can, I know that will impact their scheduling.
First, Brian is expected to begin mid-May.
April. Oh.
Yeah.
So let's just
Yeah.
word it approving, and then how can we say that for Trails End?
I mean, I guess it's only $222, so maybe maybe we just.
Approve.
Approve it and
Approve the funds. for
Approve,
the
but
entire-
confirm, what we
have the
can
town
on
come
Trails
back with
End.
some more information.
Trails End.
I know why, maybe it's been kind of an error all these years and they're trying to fix it, but the 100% is kind of confusing.
Okay, are you clear on our motion?
I rescinded mine. Joel's gonna make.
Well, if you rescinded, the support has to rescind.
All right, I'll rescind if we're gonna rephrase.
Yes.
Can we break it up potentially into two parts of that motion to make it simple? Yeah.
I'm counting on somebody like you
I
to
got
do
one
that.
for now.
Think in my head. That. We
I got one
approve the first,
going, okay.
I was just gonna say, we, approve the first brine. Which is close to 2.9 miles, right, that one, that's approved. As well as the other contingent that, with further explanation.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to wait, if we find out. That we've always.
Agree.
It's been.
We just have to
100%.
word it.
Something like that.
Yeah. Make a motion that we approve the 2.89 miles and the Trails End only upon a positive.
With,
With
for the, yeah, further,
confirmation on it, something like that, is that,
That's a good
does that
one.
help?
Yeah,
So is that your motion, Joel,
yes.
and your support? Are you
Yeah,
supporting?
yeah, that
Okay.
was.
We're at
Well, that was pretty good. There's a lot of almonds in there.
I think I missed half the so we're good.
Maybe hard time.
I think I'm good. And that was Joel and Marianne, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, that will be roll call.
All right, Penny Georgievich, aye. Kyle Orr,
Aye.
Marianne Goodman,
Hi,
Joel Klein,
I.
Mary Pitcher.
Aye. Great. Very well. Next item is proposed zoning ordinance amendment, just real simple, from the planning commission. Mark Janesco, are you gonna give us a brief overview on this?
Sure.
Is that all right?
Um,
Mark's just planning commission chair.
Just laughing is real simple.
Basically, we're just adding, 2 lines. To, our system zoning ordinance.
So you're passing out the existing.
I'm passing up the existing ordinance. Then we're adding GFA, which is a 10-foot, a 10-foot isolation from the property line going into the water with docks and boats. And the other part of that is just redefining or changing our definition of structures. Docks were not considered structures in our zoning ordinance as it is now. And so we're going to change, we're proposing to change the definition of structures to include docks and dockages. And then the second part of that is just adding 2 sentences to the existing zoning ordinance for docks to have an isolation distance from the property line as it extends into the water. And lighting, having our lighting shielded down. So the only 2 things that we're trying to change or propose to change is the isolation distance when a dock goes in the water to be 10 feet from the property line, or at least the floating portion with the boat 10 feet from the property line, and then the lighting. And so that's the only changes. We're trying to get this this proposed amendment change done now because it's spring and people are going to be putting their docks in. And we want to try to intercept that, so people are putting their docks in 10 feet or more away from the property line, so there's no conflict. We are working on a new zoning ordinance, which will include other, it will include that and then other things to accommodate people, depending on other conditions. So we're still working on that, but right now, this is the only thing that we're proposing. There's just 2 amendments. One is the definition. Second is adding 2 sentences to the bottom of the existing ordinance about isolation distance from the property line and lighting. If anybody wants me to draw on the board, I can show you what we're looking.
So what I understand and I think I heard you say is, there's gonna be additional changes proposed in the complete rewrite of the zoning ordinance. This is just to address this one topic for this summer.
That's correct. And so we're getting a lot of input from people, and we're having our meetings for the new zoning ordinance. People are giving us good ideas about the things that they would like to see with the dock portion of the zoning ordinance. And so we will try to incorporate some of those ideas into the new zoning ordinance. But right now, due to the seasonal position that we're in right now, if we can do this will take care of some conflicts that we're having. Yes.
I have a question if you're done. So, and I apologize because I was not at the public hearing and I haven't seen any minutes from it or anything like that, but the public hearing that you just had on this.
Yeah.
Was the feel from the public more positive or negative to these changes?
What was interesting about the public hearing is, we put the sheet I passed out to you with the old ordinance or the ordinance that we're using right now, the
Right.
2010
Current.
that was put up on the screen on the TV, so everybody in the audience can read that as we're going through that. What was interesting is that a lot of people were commenting on the old portion of the ordinance. They're saying, well, what's a road end and what's this and what's that?
Stuff that you
Stuff
were,
that we've been living with for 15 years. So so once you put something up on the screen, I mean, if we take Article 1 of our existing ordinance now and put it up there, we're gonna all have questions about, now what does that mean? Are we really doing that? So that's what happened. It was like, you lit a fire of people reading the ordinance and saying, wow, we're doing that kind of stuff. So that's what my take,
But what was their feel for your proposed changes?
there's a little bit of fear that, there were some existing conditions or people who are getting along and saying that we want to share a dock or we want to do something like that.
Right,
Do we have to get rid of that? And right now, the way I see this is that it's gonna be on a complaint basis. Because we're just not gonna knock on everybody's door and say, are you 10 feet away from the property line? I don't see that happening.
right.
I see what we're going to do is, if you're putting your dock in, comply with this ordinance in the best that you can. If there's a situation that you have a shared dock or something like that, we are gonna try to work on that as far as existing conditions that people have. There, some people already have a set, slab that the dock shoots out from and less than 10 feet. And so they say, now we have to put new concrete in and put it. So we're not looking to make this harder on anyone. What we're trying to do is just clean up some complaints from neighbors where there are situations where, lot lines are crossing, there's docks crossing properties. Sometimes there's loose boats that, get untied and then they're floating in front of somebody's house and the people aren't there for that weekend, so now what do you do? That type of thing.
I get all that. I wasn't here to say what was what would you say? Was it 50-50 for and against these kind of things at that public meeting? Was it the majority said like, yeah, that's probably good, or did they all hate the idea and we're gonna approve this?
No.
No, I'm talking to Mark, everybody, please.
I don't think everybody hated the idea. I think
That's all, just
in general,
something here.
I thought it was a good idea, but there's gonna be a certain, times where we're gonna see something that was existing.
Nobody liked change.
Right, and so, well, there's a picture on that, whiteboard right now, and, like where you have lot lines that maybe pie shape into the lake, and so you have the shoreline, so how would we measure from that? And so I was trying to explain how we do that.
Right,
Where we'd take, one, post from the shoreline and measure, then put the dock in the middle. So that there's different things like that, because everything's not perfect. We don't have perfect squares, perfect rectangles on lots. And so we're gonna have to try to adjust and work with this. But right now, it's basically saying, here's a standard, you just don't wanna be crossing in front of somebody else's property. This is just giving Josh and me a little bit of a tool to work these things out. And I could see where if somebody has a question, they say, hey, we're putting our dock out and the neighbors may be complaining. Josh and I can stop out and we can step into the water, we can measure, we can do things, we can help alleviate the situation where we can try to, calm it down and get the docks in position that it's not going to create a problem for the neighbor.
that's all good. I get all that. I just wanted to, so a lot of them just really wanted more specifics than we really have for them right now.
They
Is that
wanted
kind
to
of
talk
it?
about things in addition to the 10 foot.
Right, I got that. I wondered
And-
what their feel was for these changes,
So-
it wasn't a huge outcry of a no.
No.
Okay, that's all I really needed is,
Nancy raised a question, her specific situation is she's got a concrete sidewalk and it's closer than 10 feet to the lot line.
Yep.
She's grandfathered.
I get it. Oh,
Um, she's
I didn't know there was anything like that in here.
well, it's a zoning ordinance, so. It's grand.
Oh, okay.
And-
If you have always had your dock,
Yeah.
oh, now I got lots more questions.
I wouldn't.
Is there like a time frame on that? Since docks are not permanent, they go in and out every year.
Benzonia Township has lost 2 dockage cases in Judge Thompson's court. Their grandfather.
Is it because of the concrete or because of,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I'm gonna, I think, and because this is coming, but again. If I may speak for a couple minutes. So I think the one thing that I'm really wanting to see is that affidavit by folks where people are getting along. And the doc can go, if you want to share a doc, great, you can share a doc. Where if all docs are grandfathered, then we're wasting our time.
Yeah.
If that's what you're
And I
saying,
know.
then we're wasting our time.
The affidavit will be part of the rewrite. And,
There is an element, this is a try for us. And if folks don't agree to what we're requesting, then it's a civil matter, in my opinion. Then go see a judge, right? If you can't get along, this is our attempt at trying to solve some problems. But
Well, I think this, the shared doc thing that we're looking at is because we don't have the language in the form that we'd have neighbors sign. It would be something like, and, in maybe Madeline's case where the dock is closer than the 10 feet to the property line, you'd still talk to your neighbor and say, you know, this has been like this, can you sign off and not turn a complaint in on me because I'm not meeting this criteria? The thing that's gonna happen is that, right now, people, if they do get along, that's fine. As soon as property sells or somebody else comes in, I can see where they say, wait a minute, your dock is not 10 feet from the property line. And then they can, you know, start causing a problem or asking a question. And so then at that point, you wanna bring out this affidavit or some sort of form to say, look at, you know, if this is all right with you, then we can do this type of thing. So, I don't know, I think, for me, when I was doing zoning, the easiest thing for me to do is have a number, because the numbers aren't gonna lie. If I'm 50 feet away from something, 10 feet away, you know, the tape measures out, everybody's looking at it, the judge can look at it, lawyers can look at it and say, here's a standard, here's a number, and if you're above or below that number, you're in violation or not violation. The 10-foot isolation dock thing gives us a number, something to play with, that at least you can say either you're there or you're not. And then at that point, we can, like I said, if Josh gets complaints or I get a complaint, we could step out to the property, talk to the property owners, and then adjust the dock so that it's not interfering with people's sight line, the property rights, the lake, you know. The thing is, but people who live on the lakes, I mean, they're paying top dollar taxes. They want to enjoy their property and they want to use it, that portion that they have between those two stakes, the way they want to. When somebody interferes or cuts across that and then interferes with that, and there's no method except for maybe a civil thing, but even when they go civilly, the judge has got to base it on a standard, that there's something that they're in violation of in order for the judge to wait on one side or the other. Whereas this puts that number there, that puts that weight on there, then the judge has that number to use and then say, you know, are you doing this or are you not doing that? Again, I think we'll go to extremes for this in order to get compliance with this. And like I told, I've worked with Josh on that, I worked with property owners on that. And then we'll get people, you know, so we don't have a lot of lawsuits, a lot of bickering, and try to keep peace in our community.
the other thing is our ordinance enforcement is, I mean, it's complaint driven, whether it's a dock or a bright light that's not shielded. It's not like Josh and Mark are out driving around looking for a dock that's too close to the lot line. If there's a problem between neighbors, then we have this too.
So like the gentleman that spoke earlier, nothing is gonna change there.
well,
Because it's grandfathered in, that his neighbors could still put their dock right where it's been. Sorry, but that's what I'm hearing.
This is, can I speak? I thought it
No,
was,
no,
but
not right now. We're still discussing, right?
Right.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm just, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. That this isn't gonna help anybody who's complaining because they're grandfathered in.
well,
I think it is,
Well,
my
The only thing.
unless we make everybody start moving.
Based on my experience with the zoning and the only thing I can see with this dock ordinance is that even though Mary, the judge voted on 2 cases that it was an existing condition, the only thing I see different from that is the dock is going in and out. Basically, you're taking a structure, you're disassembling it, you're putting it aside, and now you're putting it back out again. Let's take the water out of it. Let's say I have a cabin on skids. Josh goes out there and measures 10 feet from the property line with a cabin on skids and says, yep, you're in compliance. The person says, I want a little bit more driveway space, slides the cabin over or moves the cabin over a little bit. Would he be in violation? He would be in violation, even though it's a movable skidded cabin. And I look at the dock as the same thing. I would test that case. I would attempt to test that case after the dock goes in, and we're saying, okay, 10 feet from the property line with your docks and dockages. And then if the case needs to be tested again, I would test it. But I've come up with that because I see it as a moving structure. It's almost like a windmill. It's a antenna. It's anything that we require a permit for that can be moved after we've given the permit or the okay to do.
Is it the concrete walkway that helps it be what makes it be grandfathered as opposed to somebody just putting it in and out willy-nilly wherever they want every year? I don't, it's tricky, but you said grandfathered and I'm suddenly like, this is a waste. That just means everybody puts them in where they were, right?
That triggered something in
I don't
mind.
think it's a waste. For example, I had guests who moored their boat and the mooring wasn't secure. Then the wind came from the east and pretty soon their boat is almost hitting my neighbor's dock.
Sure.
And that's not okay. And this would require that be taken care of.
Okay, so it's just the dock situations like that. It
It's-
wouldn't, but it would
it's-
help some things for sure.
It's a step in the right direction.
Right. I
My,
mean, that was a good scenario. Like, yeah, there is.
one
um,
of my
there's
points
too
that I
many
was
bad
thinking of
things
since we
now.
spoke earlier, I commented on it. I just thought there should be maybe a little bit more clarification. The extension of the lot line. Here's my stake, my surveyor stake at the water's edge. And I've seen it, I've experienced it. So you put the dock, you move it in 10 feet from there. But, it's angled a little bit. And so we had upon clarification, which I think this needs to have is, is it laser sight, and it makes sense to me that you're going to go 180 degrees. So I'm 50 feet from the lake. So there's generally a stake, every surveyor stake, like every 30 feet or so. Maybe you go back 2. So it's actually, you can get a straight line going out into the water, because how this is written, it's not really clear, because that line can deviate and cut, like you said, into your property or that dock, which may or may not be the case depending on, but because I've seen it, I've experienced it. The other thing about structures, what about ice shanties? Seriously, what about ice shanties?
We're coming up on summer, not we?
No, but that's in the water, so that's a structure.
That's not what we're addressing today, though. We're talking about docks and dockages.
That surface, that's state.
Yeah.
And riparian rights, that's state law, with your property lines extending into the water.
Again, I would voice that I read quite a bit. And the minute a neighbor's dock or dockage is anywhere on your property,
Oh, I agree with
it's trespass.
Mhm.
Okay, let's start there. It's trespass. Now, the state isn't very clear much beyond that.
It's not, they're not.
That's where
We
it's,
don't come to the
that,
township for
that-
trespass.
so are we wanting to try something or are we throwing our hands up in the air? I think that's, Josh, over the winter was saying, I need something to talk to these neighbors that aren't getting along. I need something, and this is something. Is it perfect? Nope. No, we know that, but it's a start.
On that note, Any other discussion? Would somebody like to?
But how does it help if the neighbors don't get along? If it's grandfathered in, there's nothing we're gonna, you know what I mean? What, what are we
I
supposed
don't know
to?
if I agree with it. I don't know if that's where you have to test it, I suppose.
I mean, that's the part that sticks to me. It's like, well, we can't make anybody change anything then. So I don't know how it would help in those situations where neighbors are already arguing.
Let's try.
I can be done discussing. No, yeah, you could beat it to death here, so.
So I would make a motion that we approve the proposed zoning ordinance amendment. Article definitions and Article 3, Section 3.11
As presented.
as presented.
Support.
I'll support that.
Supported by George, is it? Any other discussion? Let's do roll call.
Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Mary Ann Goodman,
No,
Kyle Orr.
Aye.
Joel Klein,
I,
Penny Georgievich, aye.
Motion carried. Alright. Next item,
Easy.
would not be controversial.
okay, yeah, I rarely do that, but I
Sorry.
just.
Garlic mustard dumpster hosting, there was a email on your table tonight when you got here,
Yes, we've done this in the past and see, there we go. They are able to donate $200 to share the cost, which they've done in the past. She's disappointed they can't offer more, as she has been, but that's what they have.
so we have a dumpster here that people can dump garlic mustard in. My only thought was I want to monitor the timeline more this year, the time that it helps to pull garlic mustard. I think we don't need the dumpster for as long as we had it last year.
Okay, we, all right, last year we had it for 2 months. We had it the beginning of May till I think they actually picked up on the 7th of July, but
Maybe I apologize, it wasn't too long. I want to pay attention to time.
yeah, we did just have it for 2
They should have picked it up earlier than they did, but it wasn't necessarily on us, I think, last
Maybe
year.
we're paying.
So, yeah,
Okay,
it's really a popular thing though, and it gets used a lot.
it's a great thing that we can do for our community. I would entertain a motion if anyone.
I'll make a motion that we contract to have a garlic mustard dumpster at the township again for 2 months. Correct times to be determined.
Second.
By Goodman, supported by Orr, any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
That's financial. Should it be a roll?
I'm gonna pay for it.
But we'll do roll call, sorry.
Kyle Orr.
Aye.
Penny Georgievich, aye. Joel Klein,
I,
Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Mary Ann Goodman.
Aye.
Item is the township refrigerator. Our refrigerator freezes everything.
Yes.
And it's probably really energy inefficient. We would be doing good for the environment to get in.
Yes.
Penny?
I have been to Max's twice. They have a clearance area and I've looked at refrigerators and I thought I'll bring it to the meeting and I called to check and make sure it's still there and it's gone. So, I would like to see if we can make a request. I have seen them between 9 and 1100. I even checked Lowe's because Lowe's a lot of times has appliances and they're still in the 900 range. So can we make a motion to approve up to a certain amount? And I am not going to get an ice maker. I'm just going to get something that is a refrigerator, freezer, simple.
Simple one that fits there. I would make a motion that we approve up to $1,200, just in case, for the clerk to go forward with getting a new refrigerator, freezer here and installed and dispose of the old one. If there's money to be had to that, obviously it will come back to the township.
I'll support.
Thank you.
And yeah, I can help.
We have tried to, everything we can.
But, the refrigerators from like ABC Warehouse, Lowe's, Menards, those are not the grade that you might find at.
I'd rather get it at Max's because they will also
That's what I'm
service.
saying, yeah.
But I was looking at price wise, they're still the same.
They're still relative. I just
Yeah.
wanted to throw this out there because
I said
going
1,200 too.
over in that
What-
business,
Mhm.
they're like, they might have the same serial number, but an X or an L or something at the end. and
Oh,
they're-
the lower quality kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah, spare
This has
parts.
been an ongoing joke for
Outstanding.
years.
Yeah, I would.
We've tried everything. It freezes lettuce and stuff like that. It's bad.
So the motion is to
Approve
clerk to purchase a refrigerator up to 1,200.
1,200, yes.
Figured that gives you a little leeway, and if
Mhm.
we have to pay for delivery or something, I don't know.
All right. Is that right? Roll call.
Yes. Kyle Orr. Joel Klein,
Aye.
Mary Pitcher,
Aye.
Marianne Goodman,
Aye.
Penny Georgevich. Aye.
Thank you. Next item, just, some cleanup here. Last month, we approved, Andy Sprouse to be our representative on the Benzie Shores Library Board. They've requested different terms, so I would like to amend the motion from May 5th, and make a motion to appoint Jandy Sprouse to represent Lake Township on the Benzie Shores District Library Board for a term ending March 31st, 2028.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.
That does begin immediately, right?
Yeah.
Just the end of
Yes.
the term. Thank
Effective
you.
immediately.
That's it.
Anybody else? Any correspondence for us?
It has been a talky month. We've gotten lots of correspondence. We had a couple letters from residents in support of a variance that is happening in the Crystal Highlands. Wilfred Swicky had sent in something for the Planning Commission regarding docks. We have had our newsletters from Darcy Library, Ansonia Public Library, Benzie Shores District Library, Benzie Senior Resource. And there's plenty of activities over this next month. So if you're bored and you want something to do. All right, we got the update from the Platte River State Fish Hatchery. We had a letter from a resident that just came in a couple weeks ago. And was asked to be read into the official meetings. It says, as a former board member and a concerned resident, I feel that I should inform you of phone calls that I've been receiving regarding recall procedures, specifically for the supervisor, although the clerk was mentioned several times as well. I told the callers that I did not want to know why they were asking me about recalls. I did not want to get in the middle of any issues that they were having with the board. I will not betray any confidences of the residents that reached out to me. I feel that all board members think about how they have been proceeding with the interests of the township. I appreciate this letter be read into the official minutes. Sincerely, Anna Grove. We also received the forewarned subpoena regarding the lawsuit that is happening in Bots Resort. They have requested any communication with about, I think it's about 48 individuals that have been checked, and any forms and documents that we have. So I appreciate all of the people that I've reached out to for your help and places to look for to discover these things. And April 10th is when this will be presented. Any communication that has been with attorneys will be run through our attorney to see which has client privilege. And they'll advise on what can be given. He has already been in touch with the attorney that provided the subpoena. So that is in process. And that's all the good news for
Extra work.
today.
Will that be a Zoom for you? Will you be participating in that, or will that just be Richard?
All I have to do is
No.
hand it over.
Good.
I have a thumb drive that I'm filling with all kinds of stuff.
Are you tracking your time that you're?
I am. Richard gave me that and I've tracked my time. Anyone that has done work that I know of, because I know Gunnar spent a couple hours on Wednesday pulling some things and giving me files, and Jen spent an hour and a half on Monday. So I have all the time and what was done during those times. So I think we're at about 17 and a half hours right now.
Well, thanks for all the work you're doing on that.
My pleasure. I'm learning a lot. This is something that's been going on for a long time.
Okay, I'm gonna combine items 16 and 17. General board discussion and announcements, and we'll just do a round robin here, if that's all right. Joel, do you have anything for us?
Not right now, other than Mary Ann and I will be attending one of the days of the MTA conference about long range planning. Essentially, that's what her 1 day meeting is. They're both very similar but different. One's more in the finances and so in the hopes that at some point we can have a long range plan budget. So we're gonna be driving together, and Marion told me that she doesn't like to get up in the mornings.
You're driving, I'm drinking coffee.
That's gonna throw out there. I'm doing the driving, and she's gonna kick back and drink some coffee.
Oh, good. Bring us back good stuff.
I circle back to Art's report, April 23rd at Grove Benzie. There's gonna be a chamber event. And I think there's gonna be some good stuff. The chamber is sort of getting some reinvention and maybe a little more focus on economic development. Good. So they were asking people from the township to join.
Are you gonna go?
I'm gonna do my very best to go. Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Mary Ann?
Things are pretty quiet. Treasurer's office right now as she smiles. It was a really, really difficult last tax season.
Please give
no.
her something to do, please.
Um, Is that? Yes, I will be going to the MTA conference for the Monday, the pre-conference thing for the all day. Mine's something like not really follow the money, but like, you know, are we doing the right procedures and doing it all right? And I hope to get a refresher on that because things have changed to hopefully segue to the next person down the road when I leave. And so because taxes have slowed down, now I usually start thinking newsletter. So everybody heads up newsletter info if there's things that we want. I'm assuming we'll still do one if the website isn't really there yet. You know, maybe a little smaller version. Because because hopefully we'll have things out there for that soon. But anyway, so think of information, gather, if you want something in, give it to me.
The top.
Yeah,
Do you want to give us a deadline or get back
Not
to us
yet.
with a deadline?
I'll get back to you. I'll email everybody and say, hey, here's your heads up.
But general idea.
We
was it
usually try to mail it out like early to mid-May, but I think our cleanup day is earlier this year. People like that for the dates on the cleanup. So probably have it ready early. Oh, shoot. This is April.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You have something to do.
Oh, yep.
Just gave yourself a job.
Oh, oh. I've been sloughing off. Yeah, soon. Start thinking. I'll email and remind everybody and I'll get a hold of Josh and Connor and stuff too. You know, Mark, everybody.
The windshield stickers will be on their way.
Oh,
And those will go in now.
stickers. We usually put them
They
in the
go in
newsletter.
newsletter.
Easy way to get them out to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of work. Okay, we'll do it. So it is.
Anything else, Penny?
Yeah, I was gonna say, two things. First, I probably should have had this in outgoing correspondent because there was emails that were sent to election inspectors whose training expired in February. They got the updates for new training that was available. Gave a heads up to some others for the upcoming elections. And so we're getting some of those responses in and people are getting updated trainings. We are rolling towards this May 5th election that's coming up very quickly. And I would like to introduce, my new deputy clerk. We have Jen Wilkins, who is bringing a lot of government experience, and we get a chance to find out the difference between village and township because she is currently the president of Alberta and the village of Alberta. So she's got a lot of experience, which will help me keep me on track. And she doesn't know about elections, so it's an exchange. We've got a good partnership.
Jen, welcome. We're really glad you're
Do we have a public test set up yet for the election?
We don't. I will need to talk to you too. I probably will get an email out to you probably tomorrow inquiring about a couple times. So, because that's, I know
Yeah.
that this next week is
Right,
not good. Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm thinking 2 weeks because I have to have it in the paper. So that's why I
And
want to.
think if it has to be two, it's still a quorum if it needs to be, so we'll get it worked out.
Yeah,
Anything else?
that's it.
I guess lastly, I'd just like to remind everybody to really check out the website thing and get to me or to Penny if you have anything you want to add.
Can we access it so far as from just a?
Soon. Like what does it?
Just
Like a
if I
demo?
could, I take this piece of paper that's handed to me and then just look at it, because sometimes
We're not quite there yet.
you get my.
It's in a foreign language at this point and random information.
Okay.
All right, on that note, we will open public input. Patty Blake.
Oh, just something that Mary Ann had asked about the public hearing on the docks. I think the issue was, it really wasn't made clear that the only changes they were making was F and G. So it gave people a lot of time to read through the existing ones. So again, it sort of got confusing, probably. Possibly if it was just a public hearing, because it was, after a regular meeting, so the people here for the public hearing had time to read all this and got really confused because it really wasn't made clear at the beginning that it was just these two, subsections that were being added, so.
Right, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Other public input.
Hi,
State
reference to the recall notice.
state your name, please.
Don Hagan, sorry. I'm gonna stand up.
You don't have to, you're good.
All right, reference to recall notice. The unidentified person cannot be here to say what the recall notice is for. There should not be any standing, and we are here for you, so. that's all I have
Thank
to
you.
say.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Anybody else? Mark Janesco.
Let's see that the first township cleanup date is June 13th. Well, that's till June, hearing it, yeah. The other thing, the fire barn, Mike brought to my attention that the north door was sticking, and so we had company come out and grease the rails, and he suggested changing the wheels to a plastic wheel, and then after discussion with Penny and Joel, they decided not just to keep this wheels the way they are, just grease them and see how things are going. So it seems to be working good right now. I mean, if you press the button, it goes up, it goes down, doesn't stick. It's just that you can't really you can't shut the door midway and then let it come back down again. It's gonna complete its cycle. But it works, it's shut, the buttons work, so well, the board know that fire barn seems to be working okay, the door seems to be.
We will continue to look, because the other door has the opener had been replaced, so it's a much newer unit. The one was having problems does not have an eye, so like if something is in the door, that door is coming down regardless, whether it's person, vehicle, or something like that, because of the age of it. So I think it might be worth us to take a look at. He tossed out a figure of 1,400 for a new residential one, but I'm not bringing that up right now. Huh? Well, I asked because he said it's commercial. He says, but the horsepower, the drive for the residential is adequate for doing what we need there.
be as big as what's currently there, if not bigger. He said it would be bigger.
Right,
Who is
right.
this person that's giving us all this? information?
Halsey.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, Mike had recommended him when he made the concern. Mark made the phone call and Halsey says, I'm on my way out. He came out right
My
away.
concern is if they recommended changing the wheels and we said no, why wouldn't we go according to what the professionals are telling us? Maybe else wants this. Thank you.
Because if the door, if we're looking at possibly replacing the door, the mechanism, why replace the wheels?
Okay,
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Just a point of order, we're in public input,
oh yeah,
is this
sorry.
something that can be addressed at the May meeting?
Yeah, I'm not asking for, because I want to have something to give you.
Thank you, Mary. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
I support.
All in favor, say aye.
I.
You said that way too happy.
Or adjourn.